A question from a viewer. Suppose the client is considering different attorneys in New York City. They both have professional websites and credentials, etc. One firm has two office locations on their website that are old, maybe rundown buildings, one in the Bronx, another in the worst part of Brooklyn. The other firm is in an office building in Manhattan. Or say the same in any other city. One has a fancier looking interior or exterior office. The presumption is the fancier the office is, the better the lawyer is. How true is it? All right. So my answer generally is sometimes it's true, sometimes it isn't true, and sometimes it's the opposite of true. And let me give you a few examples. Yes, you can be in a situation where a very successful lawyer with a lot of accomplishments who made a lot of money from litigation, from all kinds of cases, decides to invest into his office. And whether or not he's going to continue doing great work or whether he's going to become complacent and not care so much because maybe he made his name for himself, maybe he made enough money so he doesn't care. We don't know. We don't know where the mind of any specific lawyer is. But yes, it's true. Success sometimes translates into a nicer office. However, quite often, lawyers put way too much emphasis and way too much effort into marketing, into their office, into their fancy car, to just create an impression that they're a great lawyer without having enough of the things that really matter in terms of skill, in terms of ability to follow through, in terms of his ability to try cases. So that whole facade on the surface is just to make up for something that's missing underneath. And you hear these stories all the time where clients are so unhappy. I hired this lawyer and he never returns my calls. He screwed up my case. He gave me bad advice. And I would be like, well, why did you hire that lawyer? Oh, I saw a billboard. Oh, I got a letter, a promotional letter from lawyers who learned about my case before I even was served. Oh, I saw this fancy advertisement on the back of the bus. Or I spoke with this lawyer and their office was amazing. It was beautiful and all this furniture. Yeah, people are impressed by it. But the main thing to keep in mind is do not judge lawyers just by their office and just by their suit and their expensive watch and expensive pen. Yes, sometimes it matters, but that cannot be the only criteria. In fact, you may find yourself in a situation where you deal with a lawyer who is a show-off, who is arrogant, who is full of himself, who thinks he's God's gift, and hear a lot of stories like that too. And do you really want to work with that lawyer? And you might say, well, if he achieves the best results for me, that I don't mind tolerating bad personality or bad attitude. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. It's for you to decide. It depends on who you are, your level of tolerance, and the type of case, the type of situation that you need legal help with. Now, having said that, you have a lot of great lawyers who simply don't think about this stuff. They've been around long enough. They have more work maybe than they can handle. They don't care about moving their office to a fancier building just because they can. They don't like advertising themselves too much. They think maybe it's a little tacky, especially some old school lawyers. And you also have lawyers who are philosophically opposed to showing off, to maybe having some kind of image of someone who is extravagant. They think it creates bad impression, and that's just not who they are. Having said that, if you come to an office of a lawyer that looks extremely messy or in extreme disrepair, I don't know, the sewage, there's a smell of sewage, or the water is leaking, or the building is about to fall apart, or there's so much paper everywhere and there's such a mess and such a disorganization that you're just wondering how your attorney can possibly keep track of what's going on. In that extreme situation, this could be alarming. But other than that, you should not make too much, one way or the other, out of the type of office that the attorney is sitting in. If it's an average office, if it's a reasonable office, nothing too fancy, nothing too terrible, then all the other things about that attorney matter much more. Thank you.